Let's go. Wild world. Something you can relate to. You know how we do. Life is a journey, not a destination. Yeah, that's right. You know what I say? Put some swag on it. No restraints, comfortable with no complaints. Get my shit traffic in. I never claimed to be a saint. I just wanted out and fast, hustling to get the cash. Poverty surrounding me, but soon to be in middle class. I'm not the type that can settle for just living. I like to treat myself to the best, cause I've given my blood, my sweat, my tears, my days, my months, my years. Get your hustle up. This is expected, respected, cause I'm handling mine. I use my time and direct it on perfecting my grind. And I'm showing growth. The paper don't need the most. In fact, the 100 mil. Not to that, I'll make a toast. Cause I just want the team straight, fair, ice cool. And all my business like, damn, nice moves, precise and so smooth. Think twice, don't test through. I walk the walk, so I don't do what the rest do. Wide world, open up the doors, show me different things. 22 rooms in the crib, all different things. Creator, it don't matter, pick me in between. We all got different views, all follow different dreams. No matter the topic, you gotta follow your heart. You be foolish to stop and finish whatever you start. And go hard, stay focused, don't let up. The day you way off and pay off, I get my bread up. My paper climbing like Rocky and cliffhanger. Because I got the gift to deliver you straight bangers. We keep it consistent, circulating in cycles. While these other dudes is perpetrating their life, so I keep away from that. I'm just sticking my lane. Stick to handling business, and you should stick to the same. Go to hustle and change. I'ma stick to the game. And all the trouble come with it, stuck to my name. Watch what I do. I'm walking my shoes and see the way I'm living if you really want to. Got my mind on my money, and I'm not going away. So keep on getting your big vibe, keep on climbing. Look in the mirror, keep on shining. Until the evening, until the black sky. We gonna post up on the top spot.
Yo, guys, welcome to the call. If you guys can hear me, if you guys can see me loud and clear, please drop a 666 in the chat box if you can hear me and if you can see me. Yes, I see some sixes coming through. Fantastic. Great. Right. First of all, guys, Neno could not be on here because he's doing that P1000 boot camp. So yesterday he had that. He's got it today as well, so he couldn't be here. We were going to promote the podcast, but I was like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. Let me give a message. You never know who needs to hear what. So hopefully I can add value to you guys today. Got a very cool topic. It's gonna be a short one, like really quick topic. And then after that, I'd love to do a Q&A with you guys. So if you guys got any questions, don't put them in the chat box yet. Just keep them safe, and then when after like 20 minutes, we can put it in the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer them. All right, guys, let's start the call off in the normal way. First of all, can everyone express some gratitude in the chat box? What are you guys grateful for today? I am grateful for God, number one. I am grateful for confidence, number two. I am grateful for Neno for starting this call, building this community. I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys who are on this call. You know how much it takes to show up to a call that you're going to learn from, that you have to sit and pay attention to. Like, give yourself some credit, because just you guys hopping on this link is massive. So make sure you give gratitude for yourself and for your willingness to learn. That's amazing. I'm grateful for showing up. Yes, I'm grateful for God. Amazing. I'm grateful for the universe. I'm grateful for healing. I am grateful for your family. Beautiful. Grateful to be alive. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And then, guys, as usual, can you please drop 3 affirmations in the chat box? My favorite one is I am love, I am confident, and I am an impression of increase. They are my 3 favorite affirmations. So, yeah. What are you guys grateful for? I am able. I am grateful for God. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I am worthy. I am consistent. I am God's highest form of creation. I love these affirmations. Keep putting them in the chat box, guys. And listen, when someone's dropping an affirmation, read it and say it to yourself. Like, you might think I'm just saying it, but when you just say it, you plant that seed in your mind. And as soon as you plant that seed in your mind, trust me, it's just going to start growing. If you let it grow, if you don't block it out by saying, no, I'm not this, I'm not this. If you just leave it there, it's going to grow regardless. So well done. I am powerful. I am divine. I am successful. I am self-mastery. Amazing, 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 guys. All right, so today's topic is going to be the law of least effort. Before I get into that, I just want to share with you guys something that I learned recently. My hair looks a bit crazy, guys, because, well, right now I'm in Pakistan, so I'm not in England at the moment. I'm in Pakistan, and it's currently 7 p.m. here, so I am way ahead. I'm 10 hours ahead of you guys. That's why I look like this. But basically, I came here on the 2nd of January. We came out here to surprise my sister. It was her birthday. She's been out here traveling for the last, 6-7 months. So we thought we'd come out here and surprise her. And it was absolutely amazing. But one thing I didn't realize was that it would take me quite a bit of time to adjust to new people, to new environments. Like, it's totally different. Like, I've been to America, and, I'm from England. Like, both places are, they're just not as different. They're not as Pakistan is. It's very different. So the first 20 days, not the first 20 days, the first, I'd say 11, 12 days, it took me like loads of time to adjust. And I'm sharing this with you because what I learned during that time was that it's not that I was feeling bad, and it's not that I was feeling good. Like, I was totally neutral. But if you guys know KTs, if you guys listen to Your Wish Is Your Command, then you know that he always says the goal is what does KT say? Let's see who's a KT student. KT always says the goal is to do what? Let's see if anyone knows. You guys should know this. This is to feel good now. Shout out to Clem MM. Shout out to Ashley. Shout out to Marshetta. Well done, guys. It is to feel good and continue to feel better. Now, one thing that I was doing was I was very neutral. I wasn't feeling bad, but I wasn't feeling good at the same time. And I didn't know why. And, my sister was like, maybe you're homesick. I'm not sure if you guys have seen my room. My walls are full of, my quotes and personal development and just things all around. And I see it and it lifts me up and like, yes, 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 whatever. And I feel like here I didn't have that. And I was really just, I don't know, man. It was just different for the first like 10 days. And my sister said, look, and I also listened to an audio, and literally the same thing was said in the audio. And I was like, all right, cool, let me just do this. In the audio it says, and my sister said, she said that you have to, number one, you can't ignore your feelings. If you don't feel good or if you don't feel bad, you can't ignore it. You have to just, let yourself express that. That's number one, and you have to acknowledge it. But then number two is the reason why you're not feeling good is because there's no thoughts up here that are making you feel good. And obviously I do my affirmations, I do my gratitude and everything. But she said, pick an affirmation that's going to make you feel excited, that's going to make you want to be, even more happier than you are. And obviously I wasn't sad, I just wasn't happy. And then I listened to a new audio by Katie, and there was a really cool affirmation that I started saying to myself. And honestly, yeah, in like one day, like I noticed my vibration raising straight away. And another thing my sister said was, um, do what you do at home, because I think maybe I was homesick. She goes, do what you do at home, but do it a little bit more, so you can get rid of that, whatever you feel like it's not here, just you can just basically replace it. So number one was pick an affirmation. I'll tell you what the affirmation was. It works wonders, by the way. And number two was do more of what you do in your comfortable place. So my comfortable place is my house, my room. And what I do there is I meditate, I pray, I connect to myself, I visualize. And when I came out here, I was doing the same thing. But what I decided to do now is do it 2 times more. So like instead of doing 2 meditations, now every single day I do 4 meditations when I wake up. And honestly, it is so powerful, because these last like 5 days have been amazing, like totally back to normal. Don't feel homesick, don't feel none of that. It's amazing. So the affirmation is, I am so happy and grateful now that I feel good all the time. And then the most important part of this affirmation was, he says, this was from Katie, he says that I feel joy, bliss, and appreciation in every single moment of my life. And after you finish that sentence, you have to acknowledge where you are right now and basically express gratitude for it. So what I would say is, I'm so happy and grateful now that I feel good all the time. I feel joy, bliss, and appreciation in this moment. I'm sat here on this bed in Pakistan. I've got my laptop, I've got my notes, I've got these beautiful people on this call with me. I get to speak life into them. Thank you. And like every single moment, whenever you start to notice yourself feeling a little bit, whether it's neutral, whether it's bad, repeat the affirmation and come back to the present moment. And when you're on the present moment, that's when you start to you start to just realize, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that bad after all. It's totally fine. So that was the first thing, and the second thing was, yeah, I think I said what the second thing was. Second thing was, yeah, it was just the affirmation and doing more of what you're already doing. I'll tell you which ones I do. So I use Headspace. Headspace is a beautiful app for meditation. Highly recommend it. And if you're on Headspace, there's one course, and it is called Self Compassion. So if you go to the Self Compassion course, honestly, it's going to do you wonders. It's absolutely incredible. The second meditation I do, it is called a self-love meditation, and it's on YouTube. It's by this girl called, I am not sure. Let me check what she's called. It's so amazing. If you guys want to, I'm just gonna put you guys on. If anyone takes this and does it, honestly, you're gonna love it. I will show you, if I can, what it looks like. It's called Self Love with Adrian. That's what her name is. I'm just gonna show you the thumbnail, if I can. Okay, I can't show you it. Okay, so let me see if I can show you. Right, so there it is. It says meditation for self-love with Adrian. And that's her. She sat there with her arms crossed. So just go to YouTube, type in self-love meditation, and she'll come up. Honestly, incredible. That's the second one. Then the third one that I do, it's called Healing Imposter Syndrome. Now, it's not that I've got imposter syndrome, or maybe I think everyone has a little bit of it. Sometimes you might be in a situation and you might think, why am I here? Or these are better than me? Or am I even supposed to be doing this call and talking to you guys? Like, am I even qualified? There's so many thoughts we can get when we're about to do something new, that this meditation, honestly, it just grounds you and it reminds you that you are supposed to be where you are, and you do belong, and you are worthy. And even if you think that you don't have it, I would recommend, genuinely from all my heart, I would say, do it once. And if you find some value in it, do it again. If you don't. So this is the next one. It's called Healing Imposter Syndrome, and that's the cover. It's a girl with pink hair. There's a blue. Just type in Healing Imposter Syndrome. And then the third one is the fourth one is the usual visualization. You guys all know this one. The 10-minute manifestation video that we used to do. If you're not doing it, you're playing yourself. Guys, it's so important to visualize. I won't get into that. But yeah, I'm just telling you what helped me, because you never know, it might help you guys. So number one was think thoughts that make you feel good. I'm so happy and grateful now that I feel good all the time. I feel joy, bliss, and appreciation for every single moment of my life. And then pay attention to the moment, whatever it is, describe it. And number 2, do more of what you're doing if you feel like you're not happy with where you're at. So I do them 4 meditations, try them, and you'll love them. All right, so now we can talk about the law of least effort. Let me just see this. I haven't been looking at the comments. I'm sorry. Cool. All right, so the law of least effort is something that I apply in my life every single day. And before I used to apply this law, I used to be a person that thought because everyone around me was working so hard, I thought I had to work really, really, really hard to be successful or to live a life that I'm happy with. So when I was 18, I used to work, when I was 18, 19, I used to work like 5 jobs all at once, literally because I used to think the law of least effort. So the reason why I used to work, honestly, I used to work at Primark. I'm not sure if you know what that is. I used to work at McDonald's. I used to do Uber Eats. I used to work at accounts firm, and I also used to do some volunteering, which was a part of another job. And I used to do all these things because I had a belief that if I want to be successful, if I want to make a lot of money, I have to work so hard. So, literally, I would sleep like 2 hours a day. And there were some days where I wouldn't even sleep. I would go from one place to the next to the next. I would be drained out. My hair used to be a mess. Honestly, it was crazy. And the reason why I had that belief was because everyone around me was doing that. My brother used to work, my mum worked, like everyone, my cousins, they're just always working. I'm just like, if these lot are doing it, I'm 16, 17, 18, what do I know? I'm gonna do the same thing, right? So when I got introduced to the law of least effort, honestly, I had to sit down and look at my life and think, I am doing the exact opposite of what this law suggests. And I was like, whoa, like this is not cool. And I kid you not, thank God today I'm in a very blessed position. I don't do any of the things I used to do, 3, 4 years ago. And I am 10 times happier. I am 10 times more successful. I'm 10 times wealthier. Like everything in my life, thank God, is just incredible. And I don't do anything that I used to do. But the people that used to do what they used to do and they didn't change anything about it, today they are still doing that. And I know it's sad, but they just don't understand. So I want to see if I can get this across to you guys. The law of least effort, honestly, if you apply it, whatever you're doing today, and if you're not happy with it, and if you haven't got the results, the money, the happiness that you want, if you apply this, I promise you, you can get it. All you got to do is, I'll tell you now. So the law of least effort, right, is a law that is based on the fact that nature's intelligence functions with effortless ease and abandoned carelessness. Now I'll break it down because it's a bit of a long sentence. It basically says that there is no resistance required for things to grow or for success to come to you, right? And I'll give you an example. Let me say that sentence one more time because it was very powerful. All right, so it says, this law is based on the fact that nature's intelligence, nature, it's just everything as it is, it's just this world, right? Intelligence functions with effortless ease, so you don't have to work hard for it, and abandoned carelessness. So you basically, honestly, you just don't care about it. You just let it be. It's that simple, right? And this is the principle of least action, of no resistance. Right, so when we learn this lesson from nature, then we can easily fulfill our desires. And I'm telling you, I've applied this in my life, and I promise you, it's changed everything for me, and it can do the same for you. Now I'm gonna break it down because that's very long, right? Let me tell you this. If you observe nature at work, right, wherever you are right now, you can just think of a garden, think of your back garden, think of a park, right? You will see that least effort is always at work. Grass, think about grass. Grass does not try to grow, it just grows. Think about fish. Fish don't try and swim. Guess what? Fish just swim. Flowers don't try to bloom. Flowers just bloom. Birds, do you think a bird wakes up and, it's like, let me try and fly today? Birds just fly. Like, it's just what they do. The earth doesn't have to think about spinning. It just spins without any effort. Have you ever noticed that? It just happens, right? And that's because nature has got this beautiful thing of everything being effortless. And it's human nature, right? Honestly, if it works for nature, if it works for animals, if it works for plants, it can work for humans as well. And I'm an example of that, and Neno's an example of that. And I don't know if you've got people in your life who just don't care and things just work out for them. And this is exactly why. Understand that we are already a part of nature. We are a part of nature. And if you think about it, all life forms strive to the max of their potential. They try to be the best they can be. All life forms, trees and grass and flowers, they never grow a little bit. Flowers don't, start here, get up to here and be like, you know what, I'm tired, I'm not going to grow anymore. No, a tree doesn't start to grow and one day be like, you know what, I don't want to grow anymore. It hasn't got a choice, like it has to. But humans, right, let's see who can finish this off. What do humans have that other things in nature don't have? Why do humans not strive to be the max of their potential? Let's see who can answer this. First person to get this is a G. Let's see. Yes, Albina KO, you are fantastic. It's choice. It's because humans have got the dignity of choice. We can choose. I can wake up this morning, I can wake up in the morning and be like, you know what, today I'm going to read this book and I'm going to grow my mind. Or I can wake up and be like, today I'm just going to sit and watch Netflix all day. Option one's gonna help me grow. Option two is not gonna. A tree can't wake up and be like, you know what, today I'm gonna grow and take in some carbon dioxide. Or is it gonna say, you know what, I'm not watching Netflix all day? Like a tree can't do that. Only we can. So it's very easy for us to choose the option that's not good for us. But it's also very easy for us to choose the option that is good for us. Like everyone who jumped on this call, honestly, hats off to you guys. Well done for making the choice. Do you know how many people saw the link and thought, how will I get on today? Do you know how many people thought, yo, mornings with Neno's on, the alarm's gone off for 9 a.m., but they were like, I want to sleep for 30 more minutes? Do you know how many people do that? But you guys did not, so make sure you give yourself some credit for that. Anyways, back to the law of least effort, right? The fish, the flowers, the plants, they have no choice but to grow. And in the same way, you have a choice. I mean, in the same way that they don't have a choice, you have got a choice. So make sure you are aware of that, because when you forget you have a choice, everything starts going downhill. Understand that it's very easy to learn, to take notes, and to apply it. That's exactly what I've done. Honestly, everything I have today, guys, I give credit to Neno and to my other mentors and my sisters that have guided me and told me, do this. And I've wrote it down and I've sat down and I've reflected, like, all right, cool, this, I should do this. I should do this. I should do this. They've got the results that I want. They're happy. They're successful. I look up to them. I respect them. Let me do what they're telling me to do. And guess what? Thank God, alhamdulillah, today I live a beautiful life. Honestly, can't complain in a single way because of that. So make sure that if you decide not to jump on the calls, not to read the book and apply, you're only hurting yourself, no one else. So least effort, right? Least effort is expended when your actions are motivated by love, because nature is held together by the energy of love. Guys, love is the highest form of emotion. Love and gratitude are the two highest forms of emotion. One thing that I've learned in my life about love, and one thing that I genuinely believe like has helped me so much, is just someone loving me and telling me that, look, I love you for who you are. Like, I'm so grateful for the beautiful people in my life. There was a time when I was a brat, I was extremely disrespectful. I did not have a good mindset. I was in a low place, whatever. And I met this incredible human being, and she looked after me like I was her sister, like I was her kid. And every time I would be rude and disrespectful, she would always respond to me with love. Like, I would be so rude to her, and it's like she understood that I'm not doing it on purpose. And she would always just reply to me with love. I'd just be kind to me, and I'd always think, like, what the heck, like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, I'm being so rude to her, and she's giving me so much love. And I didn't realize it, but as time went on, what happened is the more love she showed me, the more I started to let those barriers down. The more I stopped being as rude, stopped being as much of a brat, the more I was open to listening and receiving from her. Because when we're in that state of resistance, when there's no love inside of us, the only thing that can make us better is love. Honestly, love is the highest form of emotion, guys. That when someone's being rude and disrespectful to me, I know that they need love. If someone's being rude and disrespectful to you, that's like a silent cry for love. Like, the worst thing we can do is say to someone, "Oh, shut your mouth. Like, who do you think you are? I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna fight you. Blah blah blah." The best thing you can do that I've learned from my own experience, from me being, a rude and disrespectful little brat, I've learned from that experience that, damn, like, I changed because someone was kind enough and patient enough to give me love and to understand that I'm not a bad person. I was only doing all them things because I was hurt. I was hurting inside. I thought that that was my release. And exactly as Alta Gracia Floyd said, hurt people hurt people. So anytime someone's hurting you, just understand they hurt themselves. Okay, so don't take it personally. Obviously, if it's not healthy for you, keep the distance. If you can't show them love, it's totally fine, but just try and be as gentle with them as you can. Unless someone's very disrespectful, like genuinely after even giving them love, they aren't listening to you, or they're just being even more ruder. Tell them how it is, cool. But if you can, show people love, because you never know what someone's going through for them to be doing what they're doing. So yeah, the most important thing that was in that sentence was that show love to everyone around you, show love to people, show love to your family, and when you show love to people, it's gonna help them grow. When you show love to other people, it's gonna help them, drop them barriers and just realize that, wow, I'm actually loved. All right, cool. Maybe I'm not that bad of a person after all. Whoa, low battery, 10%. It's okay. 10 minutes to go, so it'll be fine. Anyways, so least effort, right? Let me tell you about least effort now. Back to least effort. The law of least effort, it basically says that you don't have to work hard to achieve what you want to achieve. It says that the less effort you put in, the more results you're going to get. And I'm going to break this down for you because I know it sounds crazy in the beginning. You're literally like, what is this person saying? The first time I heard it, I was like, yeah, right. I used to work 5 jobs. I used to be working 24 hours a day, and someone's telling me you don't have to work 24 hours a day to be successful. If you do 1 hour a day, but you think in a certain way, I promise you'll be successful. And I was like, what are you talking about? But I had an open mind, and I was willing to change what I was thinking because I wasn't happy with where I was at. And guess what? It worked. So I'll give you guys an example. When you're trying to sleep, right? I'm sure it's happened to every single person, right? It's happened to me. When I'm trying to sleep and I'm trying so hard to sleep, I'm like, go to sleep, go to sleep, I'm gonna go sleep, I'm gonna go sleep. And I'm trying. What happens? You can't sleep. But the minute you're like, I can't be bothered, forget this, you're like, what happens? You fall asleep straight away. The minute you stop trying to sleep is the minute you fall asleep straight away. So that's just one example of the law of least effort. I'm going to go into a bit more detail because I think this is a very important part. Okay, so I'm not sure if any of you guys have read the book Ask and It Is Given. Ask and It Is Given is the perfect book that explains the law of least effort. What that book talks about is the fact that the flow of goodness, the flow of abundance, love, happiness, joy is always flowing to us and through us at all times. At all times, like everything's working out from you from the minute you're born. How is it you're born and you come to your family, and when you're a baby, you're looked after, you're given food, you're given clothes, like everything. As you grow older, your family's looking after you, like you're always in the right place, in the right position where you're going to be looked after no matter what. All right, so understand that things are always going to be working out for you. But the minute you start to try and control things that are happening to you or around you, from a perspective of this isn't good for me, or this is not going to work, or just putting too much control on something, that's the minute that things start to go wrong. Because what happens is you start to have resistance. You have this resistance. You're like, I didn't want to wear a dress a few days ago. My sister was like, yo, let's all dress up nicely and go out. I'm not much of a dress girl. I'm more like a jeans and jumper. And they was like, yo, let's put our dress. And I was like, I don't want to put a dress on now, man. Leave it, forget it. No. And after so much persuading, I was like, all right, now let's put a dress on. And honestly, I don't always do that, by the way. I don't always try and resist things, but I'm telling you, it's a bit weird here. I've been resisting quite a few things in the last like 20 days, but I'm back on track now, so it's good. And the more I resisted it, I was like, I felt bad. I was like, what's the point, man? I don't understand. And the minute I wore a dress, like, did anything bad happen? No. In fact, I looked fantastic. Went out, had a fantastic time. So all that resistance was unnecessary. Now, imagine that we're thinking things in our life where we're like, I don't want to I don't want to do this task that my boss asked me to do. But if you do it, what's going to happen? Like, you're not going to lose anything. You're going to get your job done. Just go out there and do it. Like, stop putting resistance on it. Because when you start to feel bad, Neno tells us all the time, when you start to feel bad about something, that's when you start to close your hands. That's when you have this invisible cloud over your head. That's when all the goodness that's flowing to you and through you, as it always does, it starts to get blocked. And why is that? It's because you're feeling bad. And why are you feeling bad? Because you're thinking, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't like this. I'm resisting it. I want to control it. It should be done this way, not this way. So the law of least effort states that you just let things be as they are. If you get fired from your job, it's not always a bad thing. If someone drops out of your life, it's not always a bad thing. Personally, I would say it's never a bad thing, because I think everything happens for a reason. Like, if you was to just sit down, and think, look back at your life the last 10 years, right? And you're going to see that everything happened for a reason. You're going to see that, certain people betrayed you, cut you off for whatever reason. And today, 10 years later, 5 years later, you're like, wow, I'm so glad that person did that, because then that happened and that happened and I got here. Then I had to do this and I was at my lowest. Then I met this person and then now I'm here and I'm here and I've learned so much and I'm wiser. Like, the only reason why we resist it is because we think we know best, but we actually don't know best. None of us know what's best. Only God knows what's best. So, bit off track again. Anyways, so law of least effort states that no more effort or energy is required for you to, manifest what you want. And it just tells you that the more you try to control outcomes, the more you're pushing them away. There's a really good part in this that I want to share with you guys. All right, cool. So there are 3 components to the law of least effort. All right, and these are 3 principles that you can basically apply to be able to do less and accomplish more. All right, imagine that. Imagine doing less and accomplishing more. That sounds like something that I like. Right, one sec. You know what? I think I'm gonna run and get my charger, guys. It's just near the room. I will. Where's Alright, I'm just gonna be 2 minutes, yeah? I just need to grab my charger. I literally 60 seconds. Right, I got it. 1 second. I just need to plug it in. Thank you for your patience, guys. I apologize. Plugged in. Fantastic. Oopsies. Right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Whew. I felt like it was 5 minutes. Someone said that was 30 seconds. Anyways. Alright, so guys, back into it. There are 3 components. Can you guys hear me? Drop a thank you God in the chat if you can hear me. Real quick, thank you God in the chat if you can hear me. Just making sure. Thank you, God. I see it. Thank you, Drew. Fantastic. All right, look, this is the saucy bit, all right? It says there are three components to the law of least effort, okay? And if you do these three things, you'll be able to do less and accomplish more, right? So the first component, number one, is acceptance. Acceptance simply means that you make a commitment. And the commitment is today I will accept people, situations, circumstances, and events as they occur. Right, and it goes on, it says, this means I know that this moment is as it should be because the whole universe is as it should be. The moment you're experiencing right now is the culmination of all the moments you've experienced in the past, right? And this moment is as it is because the entire universe is as it is. And it goes a little bit, I'll repeat it one more time, right? So the first component is acceptance, and it simply means that you make a commitment, right? And the commitment is that today I will accept people, situations, and circumstances and events as they occur. You know, when something happens, I will accept it. I won't say that's good and I won't say that's bad. I won't say, you know, I'm losing, I'm failing. I will say, you know, it is what it is. I'm here, whatever's happening is happening. Yeah, cool. Let's see what happens. Because understand that when you struggle against this moment, you're actually struggling against the entire universe. Instead, you can make a decision that today you will not struggle against the whole universe by struggling against this moment. This means that your acceptance of this moment right now is total and complete, and you accept things as they are, not as you wish they were. It's very important to understand, guys. You have to accept things as they are because they are like that, you know, not as you wish they were in this moment. And don't worry, guys, I will drop notes in the notes by Sana chat and in Neno's chat as well because I've got notes here, so I'll drop them in the chat. So you don't have to write this down. You can wish for things in the future to be different, 100% always, you know, but in this moment, you have to accept things as they are. Too many people, too many of us are focused on the result. You know, we don't see ourselves there and we start to focus on the lack of it. We're like, oh my God, you know, I haven't got the £10,000 that I want. Oh my God, I don't have the friends and family that I want. I don't have the relationships that I want. And we start to feel bad. You know, tier mindset, you start to feel bad because you're thinking all of this. You start to feel bad because you're like, oh, I don't have this. When you feel bad, you start to take no action because there's literally no motivation, no inspiration. And guess what? The results, you don't get what you want, you don't get anything better. You're basically stuck where you were when you started having that thought. So that's the first thing. The first thing is to accept. The second component is responsibility. So what does responsibility mean? Responsibility means it means not blaming anyone or anything for your situation, including yourself. I think that last bit, you know, it really hits home. Responsibility means not blaming anyone or anything for your situation, including yourself. Having accepted this circumstance, this event, this problem that people call it, right? Responsibility then means that you have the ability to have a creative response to the situation as it is now. Because you understand, this is your understanding that all problems contain a seed of opportunity, right? And this awareness allows you to take the moment, all right, this just happened, and transform it to a better situation of thing. Like every problem, guys, every situation, it comes with a seed of opportunity. It's up to you to choose which seed you're going to give your energy to. Are you going to put yourself down, talk down on yourself, blame yourself, play victim? And are you going to keep dwelling on what went wrong? Or are you going to be like, you know what? It happened. All right. You don't blame yourself. You take responsibility. You're like, you know, I did this. Cool. No one else did it, I'm not going to say, Dania did it. I'm not going to say Sati did it. I'm not going to say Sarah did it. I'm going to say I did this. Okay? And now that I've done this, okay, this happened. I learned from it. Amazing. And what happens next? Now I understand that everything that's happening is happening because now I can focus on the next thing, bro. I can focus on what good things come out of the situation. And once you start to do that, honestly, in every situation, that is when you start to change the problems in your life. Fantastic. Beautiful. It says that once you do this, every so-called upsetting situation will become an opportunity for the creation of something new and beautiful. And every so-called tormentor or tyrant will become your teacher. Everything you think is against you will become your teacher. If someone's annoying you, they're actually teaching you patience. If someone's saying something that's stinging, they're actually pointing out something you can work on within yourself. All these things are our teachers. And if you choose to interpret reality in this way, you will have many teachers around you and many opportunities to evolve. Perception is everything. Perception is absolutely everything. So that was number 2. Number 1 was acceptance. Number 2 was responsibility. And number three is defenselessness. So defenselessness means that your awareness, it means that you have relinquished, that means that you've taken away this you've relinquished the need to convince or persuade others of your point of view. Defenselessness, right? It means you have relinquished the need to convince or persuade others of your point of view. I'll give you an example. If you look at people around you, right? And this happens everywhere all the time, okay? If you observe people around you, you will see that they spend 99% of their time defending their points of view. If you say to someone, chicken's not good for you, and someone's a real big chicken lover, they're going to spend so much time just defending, which is cool. It's good to defend yourself, good to defend your point of view, whatever, it's amazing. But understand that this says when you relinquish the need to convince or persuade others of your point of view, that is the third component of the law of least effort. When you stop doing this, you gain access to enormous amounts of energy that has previously been wasted. Imagine I'm sat here trying to convince to you guys that you guys need to come to Pakistan. It's a fantastic place, but you don't want to. Just an example, by the way, right? And I'm sat here wasting so much time and energy and wasting. Instead, if I was to sit here and instead be like, what other beautiful places can I go to? I've literally been to a lot of beautiful places out here. It's so amazing. I love it. The sun beats out every day. I wake up, we've got like a massive roof. Literally go upstairs on the roof. I put out this big it's not a blanket, it's like a blanket. I do yoga there, I meditate there, I read there. It's honestly incredible. Blue skies. If I was to sit here and try and tell you guys how good this place is, but you're not ready to listen, right? Instead, I could be doing so much more with that time. And all of us, I'm sure you guys are sat there explaining to someone why your business is the best, or why you're this and why you're that, and all these things. But instead, if you spent that time working on yourself, maybe doing whatever you want to do for yourself, mastering your craft, whatever it is, you'll see so much more progress. But people just don't realize it, especially with, other people. They're just having so much time trying to tell you this. Look, I'm telling you. Like, stop doing that. Tell them once, twice. I've got a three strike rule. I'm going to speak to you. I have an open mind. You come to me whatever you want. I'm going to listen to you. High chance I am going to be like, wow, really good point. I like that. But sometimes, I might think whatever I previously think is still what I believe in. I'm going to say to you, look, that's really good, but imagine this perspective. And I'll say it one more time, and I'll say it one more time. And if you don't want to hear it, honestly, I'm going to stop wasting my time. You can stop wasting your time. But if there's two parties that both of you like to, just convince, you're both wasting your time. You're wasting your time. And I've been in situations when that's happened, and I'm watching these two people trying to fight and say, I'm right and I'm right and I'm right and I'm like, bro, you're wasting your time. But it is what it is. Anyways. So remember, don't convince anyone to join your business, you know, because if you do that, you're going to be in a month's time, in 2 months' time, you're going to be convincing them to put in the work. We grew up in a time when everyone knows programming, go to school, get a degree, get a job, work until you die. And thank God we are different. We've been blessed with an open mind. We've been blessed with an opportunity to, live life differently to how everyone used to live it. Of course, go out there and brand and market yourself. Tell everyone it's a beautiful opportunity. Look, whatever it is that you're doing, by the way, whether it's a job, whether it's not a job, if you enjoy it and if you believe in it, go out there and put it out there. But don't try and convince people, because when you try to convince, what does it mean? It means you have to really push, 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 push. You shouldn't have to push someone. You have to be that person where people see you and be like, you know what? I want to do what they're doing. That's the kind of person you want to be. So don't be that person that's convincing, because people just don't see your point of view. And don't waste your time on that one person. There's 8 billion people in this world, by the way. Just because one person is like, you know what, I don't like what you do. One person's like, nah, I don't believe in you. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's cool. When you become defensive, when you start to blame other people, when you do not accept and surrender to the moment, that is when your life meets resistance. When you become defensive, right? No, you're wrong. I'm right. When you start to blame others, you don't know what you're talking about, you're doing it wrong. When you don't accept and surrender to the moment, I'm right, I'm resisting, that's when you start to have this, resistance around you. Anytime you encounter resistance, recognize that if you force the situation, the resistance will only increase. Guys, there's been so many times, yeah, when you want something, I promise you it's happening in your life, it's happening in my life. When you want someone to do something so badly, you're like, do this, whether it's I will give examples, you guys know, I know, whatever. And let me think of a good example actually. You want someone to go to a specific restaurant with you. You're like, yo, let's go here to eat, The other person's like, nah, I don't want to go there, man. You're like, oh, come on, it's so nice, it's this. The other person's like, nah, I don't want to go. And the minute you stop, you're like, all right, forget it, let's go somewhere else. That person's like, you know what? Let's go there. The minute you stop resisting, you're just like, whoa, wasn't expecting that. Because you've stopped resisting now. There's no cloud above you. All of a sudden, everything's just calm working out. So when you become defensive, blame others, and do not accept and surrender to the moment, your life meets resistance. You don't want to stand rigid like a tall oak that cracks and collapses in the storm, right? Instead, you want to be flexible like a reed that bends with the storm and survives. Too many of us are so fixed on one thing that we just don't see that we have to be a bit flexible for whatever reason, and for you to be able to survive in that moment. Anyways, try to completely desist from defending your point of view. When you've got no point to defend, you don't have the opportunity to have an argument. You don't have to try and change someone and convince someone to think something different, and you're able to just fully experience the present and just be like, you know what, that's cool, man. I let you be as you are and I be as I am. That is when you fully experience the present. You're like, wow, man, this is amazing. Someone once told me, the past is history, the future is a mystery, and this moment is a gift. That is why this moment is called the present. If you embrace the present, if you become one with the present, and if you merge with it, you will experience a fire, a glow, a sparkle of ecstasy, throbbing in every part of your being. You feel more alive, you be more intimate with whoever you are, with whoever's with you. Joy comes, you start to realize, I'm thinking about all these unnecessary things for no reason. You drop the burdens, the resentment, the hurtfulness, and that's when you start to become a lot more carefree, light, free. And that's called the path of no resistance. So what you got to do is make a commitment to follow the path of no resistance. Right? This is the path through which nature's intelligence unfolds spontaneously. It's how the trees grow. It's how the ocean goes in and out. It's how, it's day and then it's night and the sun goes round and the moon comes when it has to come and birds fly and fish swim. Without friction, without effort, you accept, you take responsibility, your defenselessness, and you allow life to just flow through you easily. Because, and remember, having an open mind is very important. Because when you remain open to all points of view and not just attached to one, that's when your dreams and desires will come flowing through you. Because you can release the intentions without attachment, and you can wait for the appropriate season for your desires to blossom into reality. You're not attached to, I'm going to achieve my goal by the 31st of January 2022. Because how do you know? You might have to go through a lesson on the 5th of February. And before you've experienced that, you can't achieve your goal. But because you made your mind up that I'm going to have what I want by the 31st of January, it comes to the 1st of Feb and you're like, I didn't get it. That's it. I'm losing hope. I've lost motivation. And then what happens? It comes to, a month later and you see everyone else winning. You're thinking, why am I not winning? It's because you were so attached to that one date that you didn't realize that if you give yourself a little bit more time, God's timing over my timing, that's when things work out for you. And I think that is a lot of the notes that I had. And one more important thing that I want to actually say to you guys, just how nature is so effortless, just how the trees are created so perfectly. I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever sat and thought about the human body. I'm sitting here, I'm talking to you guys are listening to me. At any point, did any of you guys stop to consciously make effort to breathe? I haven't in the past, an hour and a bit, not an hour, 45 minutes, stopped to be like, oh my God, I need to breathe. Oh my God, I need to check my heart's beating. I need to make sure my heart's beating. Alhamdulillah, thank God we are healthy and happy. But understand that God's created everything so perfectly. How is it that you know that at a certain time, the sun's going to go down? The sun's going to come up. The day's going to start again. You know that it's going to start to rain when it needs to rain, when the clouds are full. And then guess what? Sunshine's going to come out again. And then it's going to snow. And the seasons come and go and everything. Have you guys noticed how our eyebrows are perfectly placed? When you start to sweat, the sweat comes down and it goes like this, and then it doesn't go in your eyes. Or we've got these beautiful eyelashes that, it stops dust from going into our eyes. Or we've got these two holes in our nose that allow us to breathe air in without us having to do anything to be able to do that. And we eat from our mouth, and we've got teeth inside our mouth that allow us to chew the food so we can digest it properly, that it can go down. There's just so many things if you just sit and think about the human body. That's just one example, by the way. When you think about nature, how amazing is it that, we breathe in oxygen and trees breathe out carbon dioxide? No, trees take in carbon dioxide. My bad. One or the other. But we work together. How is it that, how crazy is that? Like, we can't make these things up. And there's just too many examples for me to sit here and tell you guys. Honestly, it's just, and the reason I'm making this point is I want to ask you, to each and every person in this call who's listening to this, I want to ask you, right? What makes you think that you are so special that the same God who created the world, who created this human body, who gave us this life, imagination, the building, not the buildings, but the sky and just the whole of life form and all the intelligence, the mountains. What makes you think you're so special that God went wrong with you? How can He create everything so perfectly, right? If you genuinely sit and deep everything and like, wow, man, everything's perfect. What makes you think He didn't make you perfectly? What makes you so special that He's gonna be like, you know what? I've created everything so perfectly. Let me, let me do a little bit of wrong with Kim or with Susan or with Barbara or with Sana or whoever it is. That's not even an option, guys. Like, He's created you perfectly. I don't care whether it's your face, whether it's your body, whether it's your hair, whether it's the way you, anything about you. Like, understand that you are perfect the way you are. If there's things that you don't like about yourself that you can change, for example, my hair, I'm going to get my hair cut in the next few days. I do like it, but I do prefer shorter hair. I can go and cut that, cool. But let's say the positioning of my eyes and my nose and my mouth, what makes me think that's not perfect? Why am I gonna? I know people like to change stuff for themselves. Totally fine by the way, nothing against it. But personally, what makes you think that where your ears are is not the right place? And if you can change it, by all means, go and change it if you're happy to do that. But if you're sat there questioning something about yourself that you can't change, right? Honestly, I don't understand why you're doing it. God created this world perfectly. He created everything perfectly. He created you perfectly. So the next time you have the thought of, oh my God, I'm not meant to be here. I don't know why I'm on this earth. And that's totally fine. I've had them thoughts like, why am I here, bro? Like, what am I doing? Before you find your purpose, before you understand how amazing you really are, you're gonna have that time. Everyone has that time where like, I don't know why I'm here, what's going on. But just remember this, that God created everything perfectly. The mountains, the sun, the moon. Why would he not create you perfectly? You know? And there's something about every single one of us that is so unique and special. And I used to think when I was in high school, I used to be like a sore thumb in high school. I didn't used to fit in with them. I used to be thinking different, man. Everyone's following the rules and doing what the teacher said and this. And I used to be like, why are they doing that? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't want to do that. I think that's a bit silly. I'm not doing that. And I used to be that sore thumb, right? And then I went to college, and then college wasn't my vibe. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I was extremely insecure in college. I was like, I don't like college. Oh my God, I look so different to everyone. Everyone wore makeup. I didn't wear makeup. I thought, oh my God, I don't wear makeup, man. I'm such an outcast, blah, 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 all these things. And then, the more I started to dig deep into myself, the meditation, journaling, the understanding how God created me, like, wow, man, just because I'm different doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with me. It's totally fine. So just because you might be different to your siblings, to your family, to your friends, to your neighbors, to me, it doesn't matter. If you've got grey hair and I've got brown hair, no worries. You can obviously go and change that 100%. But if I've got this accent and you don't have this accent, totally fine, bro. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with you just because you're different to me. So I guess that was the message for today. A little bit over actually. Yo, Neno is on the call. Oh my God. Is that him? I don't know. It says Kevin Torres. I think that might be him. Well, if it is, then Neno, thank you to you, mate. I'm so grateful for you. I love you so much. And without you, none of us would be here. So thank you, God. And then, guys, okay, the recap. Well, the recording will go up, so you'll see it anyways. It was 3 steps to law of least effortness. If you guys have got any questions, you can put it in the chat box. I can answer 3 questions before I go. I think it is Neno. Yo, Neno, I love you too. I hope you're having a fantastic time at the boot camp. Yes, I'm so happy, that you're on here. Honestly, it's made my day, man. I was like, I wish Neno was on here. Sick. It was actually last minute. I was about to send the message out to everyone saying, guys, plug into the podcast. And then something in my heart was like, you know what? Just do the call, man. You never know who needs to hear you. I was like, all right, cool. Let me just do it. So, guys, 3 questions real quick. Drop it in the chat box. I will do my best to answer them to the best of my ability. And then in the next 5 minutes, we can go and enjoy our days. Okay, let's see the first question. How is your environment in your room? What do you do? I wish I could share my screen because then I would show you. Let me see if I can show you my phone actually. So what I've got in my room is I've got literally my walls are plastered with stuff that I've written down, and then I like really good stuff. For example, I just told you the law of least effort, right? That's one law out of 7 spiritual laws of success. And I have all 7 on my wall. So honestly, I'm not even making this up. There's times when I'm sitting there thinking about something. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what to do in this situation. And I'm not making this up. Yeah, randomly, a piece of paper will fall from my wall, and I would actually be like, oh my God, like, and I'd look at it and I'd read it, and it'd be exactly what I was like what I was asking. And that's just one example. It's happened multiple times. Or I'm sat there thinking about something. I'm like, oh my God, what should I do? And I look at a certain wall just randomly, and it's the quote or the message or whatever it is. It hits different. I'm like, wow, man, perfect. Let me go and do that. So that's one example that I have these messages on my wall, and I feel like when you're in an environment where everything is is conducive to your growth, that's when there's no way you're not going to grow. If I had just plain walls and I'm sat there thinking about it, I would go deeper into why I'm not doing what I'm doing, why something's going wrong, what the problem is. Whereas because I have such a beautiful environment, I'm able to switch my thought up and be like, you know what, I'm thinking this problem, I'm feeling bad. Wow, beautiful message. Let me switch it up. Let me think of something else. That was one example. The second thing was out of sight, out of mind. If you don't see things, how do you expect yourself to remember them? I've read multiple books. Honestly, so many books. But I still go back and read the books again, because what you learn in one book, over time you're going to start to forget it. So when you have stuff in your room that reminds you of things, if it's in sight, you can remember it. It's in your mind. It'll help you. I will show you a picture of it right now. I will post like a reel or something on Instagram. Just remember, your environment is everything. Honestly, if you're in an environment where everything's negative, everything's plain and boring, you're just sat there, you're gonna start thinking about your problem and just get lost in it. Whereas if you're in an environment that's conducive to your growth, you're literally sat there like, you know what, there's this problem going on. You might see a reminder that Neno said. He always says, "Don't be a prisoner of your past. Be the architect of your future." You're gonna be like, "Wow, I was thinking about what happened last year and I was feeling bad, but I'm so grateful it happened. Why? Because I learned so and so and so. And now, going forward, I'm not going to make that mistake again." That's it. Done. Imagine that one quote saved you from wasting the rest of your day. Mad. Okay, next thing. Let's see what the next question is. How do you stay focused on your morning routine? I've been in so morning routine, first of all, very important. And then always says, if I started all over again, one thing I would do differently is have a morning routine, and I'm with him on that 1,000,000%. Morning routine is everything. If you don't start your day off, with train of thought that's going to help you, you're going to start your day off and you're going to literally go downwards. Someone's going to say something to you, something's going to happen, you're going to think of a year ago what happened, you're going to start to feel bad, and that's it, your day's gone. One thing I've started doing, which is very, very useful, is I've got a diary, right? And on the diary, this is what Nen always talks about. He says you have to be tracking what you're doing. So let me give you an example. Let's see if you guys can see this. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. So here's my morning routine, right? I'll just keep it like this. So what you do is you write the date here, and then you go, I do my morning routine. And the next day you do a line, and then you do it. And then this was the 10 days when I told you guys at the start of the call, I was like, you know what? I wasn't in the best of vibration, because for how many days is it? Because for 5 days I had not done my morning routine. That's another key thing that could have caused that. But the minute you start to do your morning routine is the minute when you start to take control of it, your whole day. So morning routine for me, most important things: meditating, praying. I would highly recommend putting reading in there if you don't read. Honestly, you need new ideas to think from. So what was the question again? It was, how do you stay focused? I stay focused by knowing that when I stop my morning routine, I stop my progress. And it's like I've worked so hard in the last 2 years for what? For me to come here and stop. I'm sure you guys have worked so hard up until this moment for what? There's a quote that says, I didn't come this far to only come this far. I've come this far to go 10 times further than I am right now. And how do you do that? You do that with your morning routine. You do that with planting them seeds and feeding it and nurturing it every single day. Because imagine we're putting in so much time and effort into ourselves, right? And then now visualize this. You're a really good. Imagine you're an apple. You're a really good apple, and you're fresh and you're juicy and you're always just glowing. And then you walk into an environment where there's 5 bad apples, right? And you stop doing what helps you, which is your morning routine. Over time, them 5 bad apples are gonna start to make you go bad as well. You're gonna start to, get bruises, get this, get that, and eventually you're gonna be a bad apple as well. You're gonna go off. I know it's a weird example, but it's true. Like, you have to have your morning routine, which is your protection. One last thing I'll say about that is think of someone who's in a field, right? You're in a field and it's open area, and you see the sky and you see grey clouds, and you're like, whoa, it's about to rain. And you're in this field, you've got no house, no hut, nothing. The only option you've got is to build a hut around you, right? You've got all the tools, whatever you need. Are you going to start building that hut while it's raining, right? Once it starts pouring it down, or are you going to start building that hut well in advance so it's done by the time it starts raining? What are you guys going to do? Are you going to start building that hut while it's raining, or are you going to build it before it starts to rain? Let's see who gets the answer. Drew said preparation. Definitely before. Well done, Drew. Drew said definitely before. Okay, that was one example. And second example, if you knew that you were going to have to be someone who is going to cook dinner, there's no food at home, you're not getting takeaway, right? But you have to go get groceries and cook yourself dinner before 5 p.m. because that's when you start to get hungry. Are you going to go grocery shopping 5 minutes before you get hungry? Or are you going to go grocery shopping a few hours in advance or in the morning so you can go and cook the food and it's ready in time for when you're hungry? You know, I see before. You're going to go grocery shopping and buy whatever you need. You cancel the day before, even on the morning, it's fine. All right? You're going to go grocery shopping before you know you're going to get hungry, right? Now, in the same way, guys, you have to build protection around yourself before you get into the storm. You have to meditate and read and say the affirmations and journal and prepare your mind and your body before someone comes and says something to you that hurts you, before someone comes and betrays you, before someone comes and destroys your business. Because when you're prepared, no matter what happens, you're going to be fine. I promise you're going to be fine. You know, if you meditate, journal, and tell your affirmations in the morning, something happens in the evening, you're going to have a 90% better chance of dealing with it in a very good, responsive way, as opposed to not doing that and then just crumbling when it happens. There's no point, going through so much and getting knocked down and then starting from zero when you had the option to read the books, to meditate, to journal, to prepare yourself, that when it happens, you're then like, you know what? You're in the moment. You're like, wow, man, this just happened. Cool. I'll handle it. Cool. But if you don't have that protection, guys, you're just gonna crumble. You won't have that mental clarity. You won't have the foundation, and it's very important. So morning routine is very important. That's funny, especially because you spend more when you're hungry. That's funny. You know what, guys? I think that's fantastic. I hope you guys got a really good message. Once again, thank you to Neno for the opportunity. Guys, can we put in the chat box, thank you, Neno. We love you. Neno is the goat. Whatever you want, can you put some gratitude for Neno in the chat box? Let's end it on a very good note. I'm really grateful for each and every one of you who jumped on, who gained some value. There you go. Thank you, Neno. We love you. We appreciate you. We are forever grateful for you. If you ever see this, just know you are a legend and God is working through you in big ways. And honestly, guys, I love you all so much and I'm so grateful for you. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. Make sure you read, meditate, journal, do what you enjoy so you have that, that protection around you. When something does happen, you'll be prepared. Right, guys, take care. God bless. Don't forget to express gratitude to God today. It's very important. And have a great day.